Off we go. Over to you,
Right, well,
Andy.
thanks very much. Well, welcome everybody. First of all, I just want to congratulate our finalists and winners at the Kent LTA Awards. I mean, it really was a celebration of incredible achievements and contributions from clubs, public parks, coaches, schools, and universities. I mean, some of the individuals that we heard from on the night, it was very, very heartwarming indeed. And there's some great work being done by the county volunteers out there. So, well done if you were part of that success a couple of Saturdays ago. Um, so, getting on to the topic tonight, it is to mark International Women's Day, which is the 8th of March, and Women's History Month, which is in March. You might remember last year that Kent Tennis, we launched applications for grants up to £200. In fact, we had 14 takers on the grants last year, which accumulated up to £2,750. So, well done for those 14 venues that did hold events last year, and some of you are here today, and we want to hear from you on those stories and initiatives that you ran. Um, so, I mean, we all know that girls in tennis they start in strong numbers. In fact, it's probably a parity with boys in childhood, but something happens obviously in those teenage years, and too many girls sort of step away from the game. In fact, in sport, 50% of girls drop out in their mid-teens. Um, so tennis specifically, suffers from that issue, be it regular weekly participation or competition numbers just drop significantly for teenage girls. It could be around confidence. Tennis is an individual sport. Every sort of mistake you play on court is visible, every score. Confidence is very fragile in girls in their teenage years. Secondly, it could be a social connection. For many teenage girls, friendship is everything, and if their friends aren't playing on a tennis court, they want to be elsewhere, be it shopping in Blue Water or wherever that might be. And then we've got the issue of role models. So only 24% of the LTA accredited tennis coaches in Britain are female. 33% of tennis officials are female, and only 27% of club chairs are female. So we do need to address this, and Kent Tennis is addressing it as well. So this year, the theme for International Women's Day is Give to Gain. And before we talk about that, Janice, if you don't mind showing the video on some inspirational girls through the ages, if that's okay. We've got a nice little video to play you now with some nice music. So sit back and enjoy.
So, share, launch sharing options. I've got to tick the sound one. Oh, well, it hasn't come up yet, so there's a little button, a share sound. That's that. Share sound, share. Brain. So just I've got to find the video now. Bear with me. Hopefully it's going to come up any second.
There's no technical issues whatsoever, Janice.
Can you see it?
We
Yeah.
can. We can see the big arrow.
Coming.
We're all waiting in anticipation.
Can you hear?
I hear it now.
Thank you, Janice. I think you'll agree, both inspirational women, both on and off court there, and that was done by one of our inclusion mentors who is a very inspirational woman because she's teaching about 33 people to do Zumba at the moment, so can't be with us tonight. So, yeah, well done, Andrea, for that. Could you put up the Give to Gain Word document, Janice? Is that okay to put that up?
Yeah, that's through the screen. That one's not gone yet. This one. It's taking a bit longer to open.
Excellent. Right. So, give to gain. What in essence does that mean? Should we just go down the route of just doing an International Women's Day events again, or should we look into a bit more depth of what give to gain potentially means? I think the core message here is about women giving sort of time and support, encouragement, and the opportunity to others. To sort of try and gain confidence, a connection, and a community. So, what could a volunteer do? A female volunteer, could a volunteer, shadow a coach, help run a mini Red Bull session, even assist at a sign up or sign in. That could be as simple as helping sign in at an open day, or as potential parents come in and want to sign up their children for attendance, could they help that, or even lead a warm up? So the idea here is could a female volunteer at your club just give 1 hour a month just to help out on certain jobs and responsibilities at your club or venue? And then, giving encouragement. So, having some kind of buddy system at your club potentially would work. Pairing an experienced sort of match player with a beginner would be a nice thing to do. Pairing an adult with maybe a junior girl that's coming into the teams. That would be a nice and considerate thing to do. And pairing a new member with a long-standing member. We all know that there's a big drop-off in new players at clubs, and once you get past that year with a new member, they are more likely to continue with the club. But at that point, potentially if they don't get involved in the coaching program early on and make friends quickly, then they are vulnerable to leave your club and venue as well. So I think a buddy system is definitely worthwhile, especially for female players. And then we're talking about stories out there, and we're going to hear from Rachel's story, Gifford, from our club in a bit. But sharing sort of stories, on what tennis has given the senior team members of your club or senior players of your club, challenges that they might have overcome as well, and why sort of giving back does matter. And then giving people the opportunity. So can we offer that free beginners course, that Tennis Express course? Would that female person coming to your club need equipment for the first time, or would prefer a female coach or female sessions? These are all things that we can look at. And then what about nominating someone at your club that does give back quite a lot, and sort of showcase what they do at your club, and that may be on things like social media, but that could be a parent at your club that gives a bit of time, or it could be just a female player that you've got, or just a female member that's prepared to volunteer their services. And then finally, impact itself, by offering like small donations on entry fees to certain tournaments that you might have, female-only tournaments, or supporting a local's women's charity, for instance. So could you hold a female-only event and collect £5 or a donation that goes to a local women's charity as well? So these are all things that potentially this year would come under the Give to Gain banner of International Women's Day, specifically to Give to Gain. Thanks very much, Janice, on that, and we'll circulate that at the end of the meeting to you all also. So first of all, it'd be great to hear your stories, and I'm going to ask Rachel just to come in first of all. Rachel, so Rachel is a ladies captain at Mepham Tennis Club, and I've asked her to come in this evening. And Rachel's been a member of our club all the way through the junior system. Now is our ladies captain as well, and just on also what she does in the community and giving back. So just first of all, Rachel, your junior experience playing tennis, if that's okay.
Yeah, cool. I'm Rachel, for everyone that doesn't know me from before. So for me, playing tennis, it was a lot like Harry Potter. I was a bit of a muggle because my parents didn't play. And I think there's a lot of heavily influenced children out there because their parents have played. And my parents never played. And I didn't go to tennis Hogwarts, but I did have a Nintendo Wii, which was like this major technological change in 2008 that I had to go. We got it for Christmas, and I said, "Mum, get in it. I think I want to play in real life and take this off the screen." Which it's funny because nowadays it's around the other way. Like it's so addicted to screens and don't really get outside. But so yeah, I did start getting tennis lessons. She knew a friend from the pub she used to work in, and we ended up playing in the Dome behind Cascades in Gravesend, which was linked to Mepham. So when it was the rain, like we know, we've had the rain, it'd be in the Dome, and then we play in the summer at Mepham. I know it's quite controversial because there are a few coaches on the hall, but I did have the best coach in the whole wide world at the time, and he was Alex Warmington. You might have seen him at the Avenue here and there. And for me, he was he was funny. He was a hero to me. He was a role model, and I think having him in my life was genuinely a major part of reason for me to feel like I should go into coaching. And I felt like I had to be Alex Warmington, minus the curly hair, minus the curly hair. But yeah, life was very different when I first started playing tennis. So back in 2008, there was an economic crash going on. I was smacking my sister around the back of the head trying to play Wii Sports in the living room, and my parents was just trying to get through bills and receipts or whatever. But I do think technology has changed how kids get into sport these days. And I don't know if many kids pick up a Nintendo Wii and get into bowling or golf or anything like that. I did try and play competitively, but I've always been a little bit on the short side. Even now, 5'4", but I thought I'd get a bit taller, maybe follow Raducanu to the US Open. But I had appendicitis really badly at age 12, and it took me out for 6 months, and I've never really got sort of back into it. And I watched everyone else get a bit better. And then I think this is going to be the next question from Andy.
Well, just first of all, what made you stay in tennis? So where we had the big dropout of teenagers and whatever, what was the hook? Was it the coach or the coaching program? What made you stay in tennis where your friends were maybe heading to Blue Water?
I went to do it with all my mates because Alex and Tony left Mepham, and there was new coaches coming in. But I was a great teenager. I did want to go get drunk in a field somewhere, or God knows what. And I just didn't connect quickly with them new coaches. And I think because I'd had Alex and Tony since I was 8 years old, and I'd had only them for 8 years. And then when you're sort of at that age of 16, you start doing A levels and you start having to think about the rest of your life. And you start thinking, I don't think I'm going to make it to Wimbledon just knocking about on a Saturday morning with Alex and Tony. And then when they left, I just sort of lost the routine of like going to coaching. And then I was getting a bit older. My mates were going to Blue Water, and there was a Hollister there and a McDonald's there. And it's very exciting for a teenager to go to Blue Water and go sit in the booths, think of boys and stuff like that. So yeah, didn't really stay in it. It wasn't until the likes of, now I don't know if everyone on the call will know these people, but Ansel, Sandra Smith Rodwell, Sandra, they asked me to play North Kent League matches, and that's kind of what kept me.
So these were ladies captains of
these
the
are the
club,
ladies
weren't
captains,
they?
yeah, correct, yeah. And they keep me sort of within the I can't think vicinity of tennis. I just at a very long reach. They'd need a player, and I'd sort of pluck up and do it. But yeah, think a lot of other sports have the same issues. You could look at gymnastics and netball, and they're quite saturated with girls. But I think football has the same sort of fall off. And it's just whether you've kind of got that sportiness within you, because I think then when I started to become a little bit of an older teen, I did want to get back into it. But you do get a smelly boyfriend, and you like things happen, and you do have to do A levels, and you go on your girls' holiday, and it's a really weirdly busy time of your life, despite it not actually having that much responsibility whatsoever. So
Yeah.
I didn't actually stay throughout my teenage years, but there was sort of women that inspired me and held on to me that I then came back round into it in my later teens. So
So that you class those as your role models,
yeah,
basically.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah. And why be first of all women's club captain? What does that give you, and what does that offer you?
Sorry, I made notes, but you've asked me a question in different order. Sorry. So, it's not an overly rigorous role. Sorry, go on.
No, carry on.
It's not overly rigorous. If you're a chairperson, then I can imagine it's a lot going into it. But as ladies captain, it really works for me. I know the women so well, and it was once then that captained and kept me into tennis that I can sort of like the whole coach thing with Alex Wilmington's story. I can sort of step into those captain shoes and be the next inspiration for juniors that we've got up and coming. And I love my team. They're so supportive. They're so committed. It's just such a shame that despite living in the longest village in Europe, Meckham, it doesn't have the attachment.
Is it Europe or the UK? I can't remember.
I've been going around saying it's Europe for about 26 years now.
I'll take that.
I really hope it's Europe. But yeah, we don't have the massive attachment for a ladies one team. So like we've sort of got the committed four players. But from ladies two, we can like pick and choose. And then there's a couple upcoming juniors that I will personally, if I have them in ladies one, pair them with myself and encourage the hell out of them. Every single point they get a fist bump. Every single point I'm going, oh, that's amazing, girl. You keep going. Because that's what you want on a court when teenagers these days are stuck to their screens. They don't really have the social skills that come with sort of even going to a Tennis League. So I make sure that like I'm sort of that middle person that makes sure they feel comfortable and can still be a part of it. And they don't realise they're getting growth and development out of just attending the North Kent Tennis League match. Like you go away, get to Sandwich Park, either one team 1, 2, 3, or 4 you're going to play. It's just such a big team. You have a bit of cake and you chat to people and you just do it fun. But doing that and being a captain just brought so much confidence out in myself. It's unbelievable. I can go to job interviews. I can talk to people in a coffee shop. I can talk to someone on a bus if I wanted to. Just because those women, Anne and Sandra and whoever else it may be, inspired me to do so later in life without me realising it at the time. And it's just these days to start woke up to stuff like that.
And that social interaction that you probably had during matches and whatever. Yeah, no, great. So coaching journey. So what made you get involved in the coaching side of things then, Rachel, as well?
Well, Alex Wilmington, we all know that.
The curly haired chap.
Must be a good
looking lad.
Yeah. I didn't necessarily decide to randomly go into coaching as a full-time job. I've had a degree apprenticeship with a company called Capgemini. So I've worked 9 to 5. Now, a little disease propped up a few years back, you probably remember it, it's called COVID-19. And I got completely put at home and I could go into the office, but the office was Holborn. I'm Meckham, you'll know where I'm from. And I just got so bored just sitting at home every day that I thought, I feel like I want to do something to get out of the house. And I started to be the tennis assistant at Meckham. And I just did an hour a week for about a year, did my level 1 qualification. Funny enough, Zane Cheeseman was there. And he was doing his level 5 to help level 1 come along. And then I moved over to Gravesham, did a bit there, and then I went straight to David Lloyd and did my level 2 there, did my level 3 there, and then went on a year-long sabbatical that was tennis themed, so I was meant to go to all the Grand Slams. I did meet Jannik Sinner and I did meet Carlos Alcaraz. I feel like I completed it at this point. But it also coaching is so weird because like it's not something that I ever pictured as a kid, but now it's something I can't picture my life without. And I think it's one of those things that's really inspired me to be a mum myself one day. Um, and it's helped me speak in groups. It's helped me look around a room and make sure everyone feels included. Like maybe someone's a little bit shy and that's just stood to the side, hugging their racket. And I feel like I can put an arm around them and make them feel like they're really involved. And like now, all the skills I've had from coaching are just part of my everyday life, really. Don't get me wrong, it's not all pros and cons. And I think has just rushed off the court and can agree with me. What are the kids about throwing catch these days? And that's the what are parents doing? What PE in school these days doing? Because it's very difficult to teach a child to hold a tennis racket and hit an incoming ball over a net in a certain space when they can't really throw and catch. But again, I don't know if that's a bias towards David Lloyd thing because like, a lot of the mums would be sort of in yoga downstairs, and it's like a complete like I don't know. Not every tennis journey starts the same. Not everyone has a Wii at home. Not everyone has parents that play tennis, and maybe at times it just feel like glorified nursery. But again, at times I was still getting through to those kids. I was still inspiring all the little girls on the court, still inspiring all the little boys on the court, trying to make it fun. And to be honest with you, I was the only girl at David Lloyd. This is David Lloyd Kings Hill. I feel like I can put it into a bit of perspective because we all live in Kent. And I loved it. Went for the sabbatical, just really got my job back and I'm going back. But I still will be the only girl coach there. But that doesn't hold me back whatsoever. It's almost a superpower because I'm the creative one. I'm the one that has the maternal instinct. I'm the one that thinks outside the box. And I don't know if that's just because I've come from a consultancy and I've just felt like I did that during the day, but it's never held me back thinking that I'm the only female in the team. I also did, sorry, I'm going to grab a show and tell. I also did the level 3. Oh, I really hope it doesn't blur the whole picture. Is it going to do that?
Yeah.
If I hold it in front of my face, it might not. I'm the only girl in all of my level 3. Now, Tom Carlton, amazing, amazing, amazing guy, so inspiring. But I was the only girl there. I could be described in one word by someone just saying she. Everyone else needed extra adjectives to describe who they were. But again, I still felt like I was the little golden girl almost. I was the one that put together the Tom Carlton thank you box. And we printed, the reason I have this picture is because I don't know if you can see, everyone's all got cut up at the top and I had to edit someone else in. But I don't know if it's the girl in me. I then made sure someone didn't get left out and I re-edited them in on Snapchat and I printed it out during the lunch break in Tesco, framed it. We put some roses in there, wine, just to say thank you because we all just had this amazing time. But despite me being the only girl, those boys were really funny. And I remember being invited to a level 4 female only, like, and it was going to be 50% off. And I thought, is this the way to get females into coaching? Because surely you've got to come up from the bottom. And I just thought, but would it be as funny as level 3 was? Don't know. But I didn't pass level 3 in time to actually take them up on that offer, unfortunately. But yeah,
And
it's been a hell of a journey.
Rachel, I've got one more question for you
Go for
before
it.
you go and get some air. And
I don't need air.
yeah, yeah. Because and this is really because I know you're a dual part activator.
Oh
So
yeah.
because you do that voluntary at the weekends, so Rachel does this on a Saturday and Sunday morning, 10 to 11 in her own time. What does the activator side of things give you that the coaching doesn't?
Okay, the silly answer is there's no expectation of money. So I feel like I can do whatever I want on that court and like really experiment with like exercises and drills and like talking to people. But that's not really the answer I'm searching for here. The only thing, it's just such a beautiful initiative to be the start of and feel like hopefully the energy I put into it continues years down the line. Like how successful park run is, hopefully park tennis will be like that. And it does feel like that whether I am my full capable self on a Sunday morning at 10 a.m. is another question. But I just love the idea that you just get to come together and let people experience tennis that possibly never had a Nintendo Wii or never had a parent that did tennis. And they've just seen it on Facebook and they thought, should we give that a go? Because tennis kind of has its big moment, the 2 weeks of Wimbledon. And then the rest of the year, maybe someone will think about it during Roland Garros because of that big match we had last year between Sinner and Alcaraz. But again, it just gives so many people the opportunities. And the most beautiful thing, other than my mum does it both days as well with me, and she's completely started playing tennis because of it. Goes to a tennis express at Metham now, and then does my sessions we do for park tennis. My sister will come along when she remembers to sign on, and some of my friends will come along as well. And the majority of the Wimble group is women, and it's There was a thing you said on a slide earlier that said, give an hour, gain a community. And that's kind of what happened. But it feels like they're almost locals at a pub, but there's no pub, they're not locals. And it's all just them at Windmill Hill or Woodlands, wherever it may be. And like it is a community and people give you feedback and people give you suggestions and they want to keep it going. And we've had regular players, we've had players pop in and pop out and then see people come back again. The biggest issue is just space at the minute because park tennis windmill just got so popular. We've run out of space for people to like book onto. Similar with Woodlands, the biggest problem is it's free. A lot of people will sign up and then be like, oh, I can't be asked to go in the morning and then like not really bother, which is genuinely a bit of an issue. And I don't really want to get into territory where you get a big black cross on your record because you've like not showed up so many times because I wouldn't want people to feel like that. But
No.
yeah, it's honestly,
No,
and
no,
it's wonderful to make connections with yourself, Russ, and Joe Jackman. So
Yeah,
it's
no,
fun.
well done. But as I said, it's well done to you to give more than an hour of a month of your time in doing that and being an activator and not getting any remuneration for that. So well
Right.
done you. And then
Sorry.
finally, what's your favourite pancake, Rachel?
Lemon and sugar. Lemon and
Ah,
sugar, easy answer.
yeah.
Every time, yeah. I've just had 3, so that's probably why I'm just off the walls at the minute. But yeah, lemon and sugar all the way.
We just about caught up with you there, Rachel, I think. So, but thanks very much for all that. So,
No,
ladies
anytime.
captain, park activator, coach, well
Time
done,
Meckham
well
singles
done.
champion as well.
Ah,
Yeah.
excellent. So, I'd like to first go out to the venues first of all, just to sort of say what did you do last year, and then we've got a presentation by Karen, haven't we, to sort of finish off with as well. So Emma Bogus, can we get to you first of all? And you're Biddington, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. Can you hear me okay?
I can, yes, yeah. Let us know what you did last year and whether you're thinking of doing something this year.
Yeah, so we ran a kind of open day for women and girls on Sunday, the 9th of March. And I mean, we kept it quite simple, to be honest. Those of you know Biddenden, we're a small club. We've got 2 courts and a hut. Wouldn't call it a clubhouse. So we don't have much kind of in the way of sort of extra facilities. But we advertise locally, we put messages up around the village, we use social media, village magazine, that sort of thing to try and encourage both our own members, women and girls in our membership, but also probably more importantly, people who weren't members to come along and have a go. And through the course of about 3 or 4 hours, we basically just had a number of different slots. So we started off with a session of cardio tennis, so ran that for about 45 minutes. These were all led by our coach. And we have a male coach, so it wasn't led by a woman, but we had a male coach who's really good at engaging everyone and bringing people in. And it was actually, this cardio was great because we had a real mix of juniors and real mix of the ages playing, so everyone was sort of playing together, which was great. We then had a session of walking tennis. So the summer before, we'd actually had some money from Kent Tennis as well to introduce walking tennis, which has been a real success. And sort of 2 years on is going strong. So we had a session all about walking tennis, and again, got everyone to sort of join in and take part. And then we had finished off with a sort of just a sort of open come and play opportunity for people to play singles and doubles on our 2 courts for an hour or so. We wrapped it all around with a bit of tea and cake, as you do, as a bit of a lure to get people in. But it was a really nice morning. We were very fortunate with the weather. The sun shone, which always helps in terms of getting people out. But we have a very small sort of playground literally next to the courts. And what was really nice was some of the lads in the playground, they were like, can't we come along? I mean, I think they really wanted the cake, to be honest. I'm not sure they were that interested in the tennis, but the fact that they kind of wanted that they felt a bit excluded. And I know it's not about exclusion, but it was sort of quite nice to have something just for the girls and the women. And we were sort of joking with them about the fact they couldn't come. But actually, it was just really nice to have a sort of special event. And seemed to go really well. People enjoyed it. Had a few people who weren't members of the club come along. So good for us, good for them, hopefully.
Excellent. Thanks, Emma. Yeah, brilliant. And a quick tip: don't put that you want the money for tea and cake on the application. That's a bit of a no-no.
We didn't use your money for tea and cake. We used our own money for tea and cake.
Zane, obviously you applied for three of the clubs that you look after. Did you do the same for all three, or did you vary it?
Yeah, very similar and similar to what Emma said, really. So we ran it across, we promoted it the same way. So did a poster, did social media, did it for our members. So we put it out kind of to the members first. It was kind of like bring a friend as well. So trying to introduce like a female friend to the club. Yeah, across the three sites, we did cardio on one court. We did then pickleball on another court. And then we did tennis on another court, and we just let them kind of like, we said we wanted to move them around, but we said to them they could actually move to wherever they went. What we didn't take on count is how many people would be interested. Our slots filled up very, very quickly. So I think we had, about over 30 people like at each event. So we had to be careful because we had more people interested. We even had, I think like Emma said, we had actual men wanting to join it, even though it was promoted as International Women's Day. So we had quite a few emails around that, which was a bit strange. And then at the end, because we're lucky enough within my company where we've got quite a few female coaches. So we then kind of did a bit like kind of what Rachel had done, was at the end them to talk a little bit about kind of how they got into tennis, their backgrounds, and then just let them socialise and have a chat and kind of like talk. And we did tea and cakes and drinks, and after where there was kind of like 30 minutes where they could kind of chat and speak through, and kind of then we introduced the people that weren't used to the clubs into kind of the sessions that we run, cardio, tennis and pickleball and things like that. And we had quite a lot of people that then carried on outside of those sessions, but very similar to what Emma done, really. So
yeah, and the same again this time around, or would you do anything different?
I think we'd probably talk a little bit more. I'd like to talk a little bit more around kind of the background. I like kind of what the video that's been brought up, and kind of a bit more around International Women's Day. I don't think we probably spoke enough around kind of the background of that. So it was more kind of around the coach's background and kind of how they came kind of how Rachel spoke, really. So I think we'd maybe talk a bit more around the history of International Women's Day, and maybe get some of the women to talk who come to it about their background. I quite like that in the chat about some of them who have played tennis at the clubs. I think that's a really good idea to get a bit more, that it's not just the kind of coach talking. Actually, we get a bit of background from a few of the women actually on who have actually signed up to it.
Good. Yeah, fine. Brilliant. Thanks, Zane. Like to come to Dave Hound's cell now of Hythe. Dave, if you want to come in, please.
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, good. That's right. Yeah, last year we our coaching partners, we run a 2-hour session, classed as sort of fun session. We had 4 courts put aside, similar to what other people said, but it was run by our female coaches, part of the coaching partner team. So there was Jodie, there was Sarah, who's at level 3, there were some of the younger coaches there. It was about doing warm-up sessions to start with, team games, and then it was followed on by having an hour of sort of social tennis as well. A lot of the girls brought their mums along who hadn't played tennis before, and out of that, they enjoyed it, and we actually gained additional members, which was good for the club. We've got a very strong ladies section. The social hour was really good, and then obviously it was followed by teas and cakes and that sort of thing. There was a little montage video of it. I'll try and share it.
Okay.
I don't know if this will work, if you don't mind. It's not very long.
No, not at all.
I'll have a go. I haven't done this before.
Do you need sharing rights, Janice?
Yeah, I do.
Allow. Yeah, it's come up.
While we're waiting, Dave, what's your favourite pancake?
Oh, I just like a plain one with sugar and lemon on it.
Yeah, Zane.
Just the good old fashioned, but
Yeah,
lots of
same.
them.
Yeah,
Lots of them.
Emma.
Same, probably with a few sultanas.
Oh,
Ooh.
left field.
Can you see the screen?
No, not yet.
No. Okay, let's try again.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, something's happening. Yes.
Well, if I play, you can see the International Women's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Right, I'll see how it goes.
Lots of numbers.
Yeah.
So was that made up of new people to tennis as well, Dave? Or are they
There's
just
new people in
existing
there as
members?
well as
Yeah,
members, committee
yeah,
members, some of the younger juniors.
yeah,
It just goes on for about a minute or so.
yeah. No, you got some good numbers there. And was it just tennis, or did you play pickleball as well?
No, for that year, it was only tennis. This year, I think the team that are going to run it, we're going to try and do walking tennis and maybe pickleball as well, and
Yeah.
expand on what the success we had last year.
Yes.
Because a lot of these people you're seeing were quite new to the club at the time,
Yeah.
and majority of them are still playing, getting involved in matches now, and do a lot of social. We have some ladies only nights.
No, it looks like a good day. Tea
Yeah,
and cake
and
afterwards?
it was obviously a very good weather day as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you put that on your social media as well?
Yes,
Good. Good.
yes, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's good.
It went down very well, very successful. Um, I know Sarah, our LT level 3 coach, is going to organise this year's one with some of the committee members. One of our younger sort of girl coaches wants to be involved as well. So, yeah, we're going to try and build on it, make it bigger and better.
Excellent. All right, we'll do. Going to move on to Rob Slater of Mepham now. What did you do last year, Rob?
So last year we introduced a Ladies Express coaching program for people totally new to tennis. That was 6 weeks, I think it was, funded by Kent Tennis, and that was really successful. And that group continues to today and is growing, which is fantastic. So we're scratching our heads to kind of think, do we start another group? We also, on International Women's Day, we held a ladies only American tournament for ladies both from our club and from any of the surrounding clubs to Mepham, which is, again was really great, and that had the something like a £5 entrance fee, which all went to the women's charity. And then in that evening, we had a quiz at the village hall, and again, all proceeds going to the charity. But also, Andy, I'll make the point that, or a couple of points, if I may, is that it's also looking at your environment in the club. So with part of the funding, we refreshed our ladies' cloakroom. There was talk that we wanted a decent coffee machine, so we invested in that. So there's some things about environment I think clubs also need to look at to make sure they're welcoming to females. And the
Good.
second point I was going to quickly make is that probably on difficult, delicate ground here, but ladies of more mature age is not a problem at Mepham. We do have quite a few of them. It's the ages from 14, 15 up to about 50 that we've got a big deficit, shall we say, in numbers. So, I think in time they're the ones that we also need to say, well, great to get more women on court, but how do we get that age band involved?
Thanks, Rob. And your favourite pancake?
Well, actually, I remember as a child, my mum used to do them with apples, stewed apples, and then brown sugar over the top, and then bake them for a little while. And they were
Oh,
absolutely with ice cream, and they were just to die for.
you're a spoilt lad.
Yeah, that you can see it, can't you, in my face?
Thanks, Rob. Thanks very much. Vanessa, a Whitstable. Just
Yeah,
like to hear what you did last year, if that's okay.
yeah, of course. Before I start, can I just say, Rachel, it was absolutely amazing listening to you. You're so inspirational. I can imagine how you really, really inspire all those people that you coach.
Oh,
So
thank you.
good.
That's so kind of you.
Not at all. So at Whitstable, we held a girls under 10 session in the morning, which was based on the Miss Hits principles. So we had 6 manned activity stations. We had an inspirational playlist going on. So sisters are doing it for themselves and Run the World. That's Beyonce, Andy. And then in the afternoon, we had Bring a Friend to tennis. So club members brought friends, female friends, and we did, again, fun drills, games, and tea and cake. And the idea was to encourage membership. And we've got lots of different pathways, which was also more than tennis, whatever it was. That's what we did.
Excellent. No, brilliant, brilliant. Favorite pancake, Vanessa?
Banana, maple syrup, and squirty cream.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lots of goodies in that one.
Oh, yes.
Right. Did anybody else receive funding from Kent Tennis last year on the call that just wants to tell us what they did? I don't think so. I think we've probably covered everything there. Good. Karen, well, actually, we've got Andrea on the call now, haven't we? So this is a good, interesting one, isn't it? So this is Andrea's production, Andrea's
Andrea's
thoughts
project.
on empowering women and girls last year, which was absolutely brilliant. And there's a little slideshow to show you now. So Karen, Andrea, I'll let you fight it between yourselves who goes through this, but maybe Andrea should do now she's finished her Zumba class.
No, Karen, you do it, please.
Yeah, okay. Right. So this is Andrea's project that she she thought up and has driven through and has done a fantastic job of. Basically this was I think we've missed step 1 there.
Yeah. So we're going to step 2.
Go back. So there we go. Brilliant. Okay, so as I say, Andrea, as an inclusion mentor, devised this project and did all the groundwork to produce it. So as you can see, the project vision was to empower young girls through tennis and youth leadership. So it used the 2025 International Women's Day theme of Accelerate Action. And basically, it was in 3 steps to achieve this, and it was used to basically build tennis leaders. So if we can go on. Okay, so as Andy said at the beginning, basically girls in their mid-teens, over half of them do not meet the UK Chief Medical Officer's daily activity guidelines. And basically, they start in primary school as eager as the boys, but they drop off. And so this is really key. So nearly 2/3 stop taking part in sport before the age of 16. And there's obviously a variety of reasons, not just one reason, and it's a combination, no doubt, feeling of a sense of belonging at school, their confidence levels and aspirations, friendship groups, Andy said earlier on, which is really important. And girls from ethnic minority backgrounds, obviously, they face additional barriers to inclusion and representation as well. So step 1, that was basically using Lean Girls, which is a leadership project to empower girls in their sense of belonging. That was used to help basically do the first step which was going in, talking to the girls in St. John's School. As you can see, it was 27 Year 9 girls. And it was about women role models, and it was just, as I say, it's looking into the role models, looking into communication tasks and leadership tasks to help give confidence to the girls. I think the important thing to say, though, that Andrea did before this was she was very visible and transparent in what the project was, so that girls that signed up and their parents knew what was happening. So an invite went out to all the girls, to their parents, explaining the three-pronged approach. And so there was no surprises, and everyone knew what they were signing up to. And I think that was really important, because the last thing you want is to think you've got a whole lot of girls signing up, but then they drop off because they don't understand what was involved in the whole project. And yeah, by that visibility was so important. Okay, if we can go on. So after that initial step, there was then the LTA Youth Leaders course. I believe I'm right that Zane helped deliver this, Andrea, is that correct? Yes, I've got a thumbs up, that's great. So Youth Leaders, the tennis leader course, it was, as I say, all 27 girls completed it. It's a recognised LTA course, and it basically, through tennis as a vehicle, it teaches valuable life skills that are for leadership. So self-belief, communication, self-management, teamwork, problem solving, and resilience. So it's really, really important, and it can be transferable to other things in their education life or outside of school life. These are soft leadership skills, but are so important and tangible to everything they do. But they used tennis as a way of delivering it. It meant also that they were learning about the tennis, sort of how tennis is rolled out. So you start with warm up, you then go into body and ball exercises, which are basically hand-eye coordination. You then go on to racket and ball, and then you have the sort of the fun game at the end that utilizes what you've been learning in a fun way. So it teaches tennis leadership, but it also teaches these life skills that they can use everywhere else in life, basically. And then the last thing was, the third prong was the park tennis event, which was in the with Gresham park venues, which have recently been refurbished. They then basically helped with the opening event, which was with a local primary school. So reading there, they did 10 activity stations for over 70 Year 4 pupils from local schools. So, I mean, this is great, because if you're getting kids to the local parks and it's done in a really engaging way, the kids want to go back and use the courts with their families. So it was a win-win, and obviously a great way to build the girls' confidence as well. So much so that then later on, after this project, they've helped with a primary school, a Settle Road Primary School, deliver, it was 2 days of sort of activities to all the school children there during their National Sports Week, which was absolutely fantastic. I believe they were melting because it was like 2 of the hottest days of the year. But yeah, the girls devised their own activities, I understand. Absolutely, really fantastic sort of outcome from their project, and great way for them to use their skills and to grow in confidence further. So if we go on, I think there's other things here. So project success. So they had a VIP visit from Sandy Proctor in her tour of Kent, which was her last tour as LTA president. And they did a This Is Your Lifestyle chat with Sandy. And Sandy was so touched by that, because Andrea, I don't know if I told you this, but when Sandy then came to me at Barton School down in Dover, she told me all about it, how fantastic it was. So she was really taken by it, and it really meant a lot to her. So that was wonderful. It says here the project was selected as a finalist for this year's Kent Tennis Awards. Well, as we all know, they won School of the Year. So yay! That was really, really great. And so they now hopefully will go on to the nationals. So fingers crossed for them. But what a fantastic project! What else? The Easter themed tennis festival for local schools. So I understood this from talking to Andrew. This was going to be within their own school, but they're planning obviously more activities to engage more and more girls and pupils generally into tennis. They're looking to support girls interested in pursuing their level 1 coaching qualification, so increasing female representation in the sports workforce. Also, something that Anja told me, which I don't think is down here, is they've also arranging for one of the coaches at Meppen, Laurie. He's going to be coaching the girls' tennis actually at St. John's, because that's the thing. All this has been achieved without them being tennis players, and now they want to learn to play tennis as well. So that's fantastic. They also helped at the Inclusive Tennis Festival at Bromley. The county closed Inclusive Tennis Festival last year, and they want to help this year. So that is fantastic. So there's just so much that they're doing. And the project has worked out so well that it's inspired the new pilot project for teaching leadership skills to primary school children, which I'm part of with Anja. So that is basically a year-long project trying to teach these sort of life skills for leadership, your communication, organization, self-management, that is, all those things to basically help them in life in general, give them that confidence, that resilience, but also using tennis as a vehicle, so learning about tennis at the same time. So these are children in sort of very deprived areas, high pupil premium rates of, in the schools. I know my school, their pupil premium rate is over 60%, and that's basically equivalent to free school meals due to benefits, etc. So that, when we say pupil premium, that's what it equates to. And so it's giving them a chance through tennis to learn skills and learn tennis as well. And we're also, other things involved in that is the science-related tennis that we do, or tennis-related science, should I say, to also that cross-curricular element, which is so important, that, tennis, and the science involved in it. In fact, it's all through life. The learning about stuff that happens in tennis, but the science is also all around us, and that greater curiosity. Hopefully, it will bring that knowledge. Hopefully, it will inspire them. Okay, and that's it. Have I forgotten anything, Anja?
No, you've done well, Karen, and yeah, brilliant, well done, Karen, and also just fantastic, Andrea. It was, from small acorns of International Women's Day last year. You've done wonderfully in empowering these girls and hopefully workforce for the future. Brilliant, thanks very much. Right, I forgot to ask Karen, favourite pancake.
So when it's summertime, it's eat a mess, but any other time of the year, it's lemon juice and sugar.
Oh, right.
But yeah, eat a mess with your meringue, your cream, your strawberries in there, but it's got to be summer strawberries.
Brilliant. Okay, so after this, we're going to send you some information. You can get a International Women's Day pack directly, but it does cost you, I think it's about £158 if you did want the balloons and whatever through the official International Women's Day site. But Janice will be sending you the application forms through after this and everything else that you've seen on the slides. Jane, yes, please.
There were just a couple of things that I thought I might try and share with them, because I picked up some bits that Rob said, particularly around the fact that, you have a sort of a void of people aged 15 to 50. And there's sometimes some little things that you can do that not everybody always thinks about. And it goes across all sport, not just tennis. But, timing for particular people of child age is crucial, because obviously if you've got kiddies, 9 times out of 10 it's the female, the woman looking after the kids. So timing of events is very, very critical. If you can offer, you know, childcare, then it's good. But other simple things like, you know, if you're trying to get young mums involved in it, it's just putting a baby table, changing table somewhere, whether it's in the loo or not, and they don't cost very much. You know, you can get those little red ones that you put children on. Very simple things like that can have a real impact in relation to trying to get more females across the threshold. The other thing is a biggie round buddying, because for some people they're absolutely petrified about stepping over the threshold, and it's about how we can work with them to try and get them to feel comfortable. And then there's been a lot of research, and I've picked up what you said, Andy, about, you know, where people, you need to make sure when they become involved that you keep them. And the key is 6 weeks. Normally 6 weeks, it then forms a habit. And if you can keep them for 6 weeks with a buddy or whatever, that normally that is the absolute key, that, you know, keep them engaged for the first 6 weeks, really, really help engage them, buddy them, help them. And then the sort of habit becomes a lifetime habit. So there's some little sort of tips there that might sort of help people. There's a lot of research been done by Women in Sport, which is a charity. There's a lot of stats there, which can be a bit boring, but there are certain things about barriers that are very key, that I'll ask Janice to put the link in the email that she sends out. But often it's just some of those little simple things that, like, you know, I can remember I was teaching gymnastics one day. I used to teach loads of toddlers, and this man came up to me and he said, "Why have you not got any baby changing things in the male's toilets?" And I thought, I hadn't even thought of that. And just by putting, you know, we put them in the female, I went and put them in the male, all these dads that were coming as well with their children suddenly could change their children. And I hadn't even thought about it. And I thought, how terrible. I hadn't even thought about it. It's really little simple things like that can make a real difference for women. So, yeah, I got off my soapbox now.
Great. Favourite pancake though, Jane?
Lemon and sugar.
Sam,
like Karen in the summer, lots of ice cream and cream, yeah.
And Andrea put a message in the chat to say that you can download and print yourself some of the resources and just buy purple and white balloons rather than buying their balloons. So yeah, that's a good tip, Andrea. Thank you.
Thanks, Andrea.
Yeah.
Sam, did you want to come in and say something? Or you're on mute.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, Andy. No, I was just clapping because there were some really good points, Jane. So thanks very much for sharing those. Really helpful.
Yeah, no, thank you.
There's some really simple things that people don't even think about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, brilliant. Excellent. So I'll hand you back over to Janice, but really thanks for your input again today. As I said, applications are now open, so get them in, and we'll take a look at them, probably about a week lead time in just looking through those applications and assessing them. But get them in as soon as you can.
What's your favourite pancake?
Mine's lemon as well, and sugar. Yeah, traditionalist. Yes. Janice, your favourite pancake?
Pancakes.
We can't hear you.
I don't like pancakes.
You don't like pancakes?
No.
Oh. What desserts in general, or
I like ice cream.
No, ice cream.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't like pancakes. Sorry. So my children have to go without.
All right.
So before we leave, I just want a couple of reminders to you all. Oh, Graham, would you want to chat quickly, Graham?
Yeah, just very quickly. Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can.
Well, you can. Well, first of all, I have to say how impressed I am with Mepham, Hythe, Deal and Whitstable for what you're doing with your ladies. I mean, I must admit at why we really haven't given a great deal of thought to the International Ladies' Day. And you are right, we don't have enough female coaches. We should take a look at that. I know we've got a couple of girls who are taking their level 1 soon. We did have Francesca Hayward. She was a lady coach, level 3, but she went off to start her own family, trying to increase our junior section, I think. So, but she does hope to come back. But the good news for us is that you may remember that years ago, for anyone who's been to Y, the tennis club's only 100 yards away from the primary school. And back in about 2008, the primary school had a terrible reputation for sport. Everyone had to be a winner, and it was no good. Anyway, so we got them to come down and part of school time and include tennis in their sporting curriculum. And our only we said to them they can use our courts free of charge, but they must use our coaches because we wanted them to be taught properly, and that's what they did. And one of the good things is listening to who's the lady from Rachel, listening to Rachel saying that her parents never played tennis and she started. It was very interesting that when we allowed Y Primary School to use our courts, we had 23 children join the club, and then, very importantly, 9 parents who would never have joined. And it has gone from that. You know, we've got plenty of family memberships. So one of the benefits was that after a while we started to we instigated a scholarship scheme, and we had the best 4 pupils on scholarship. And there was a boy there called Joseph Tonner. And the headmaster said to me after about 6 months, he said, "You know what, Gran, Joseph was struggling at school academically. And once you put him on scholarship, his whole esteem rose and his academic progress improved tremendously." So that was one of the good things of tennis, I think. So I was saying about Thomas. I'd like to thank you again, Andy, for introducing Thomas to us. For anyone who doesn't know, Vanessa knows him well, of course. What a delight. This is a lad who's Down syndrome, he's psychosomatic and he's deaf. But what a pleasure tennis has given him and his mum. So I thank you for that. We've got Sam and Sean on the line, I know, and they're very interested in trying to improve things at Headcorn. And I hope when we have our meeting, we will be able to help you any way we can. But they're in a position there where they're in a large village, Headcorn, but it's quite difficult to get to the club. So any ideas of how to increase your membership, as you say, through social media and whatever, I think would be very helpful. And one thing I'd like to say about our club is that we don't use, we've got pickleball, but we haven't got an enthusiast to run it. And when I went to that LTA meeting, Andy, 2 or 3 months ago at Crescent Way, I think it was, there's a chap there who was very, very keen on pickleball, and suddenly the whole place was pickleball mad. So we definitely need something like that to go at our club. And the last thing I'd like to say is that, and I know I've been banging on this for years, but I think that the cost of trying to get qualified level 1, 2, and 3 is too high. And we actually give a grant of £100, and I know that people say, "Oh, well, coaches can earn £40,000-50,000 a year when they're qualified." But it's such a dodgy profession to be in, I think. But anyway, I'll keep on that. But thank you all, and I thought a good meeting tonight, as always, and very useful.
Thanks, Graham. Thank you. And I'll get one of you coaches to do the pickleball. Get one of you coaches qualified to deliver pickleball if there's no volunteers, and get it up and running.
Thanks,
okay, no, thanks, Graham.
So before we all leave, just a couple of reminders. If you've got all the coaches out there, could you please join the coaches WhatsApp group? I know the coaches on our Zoom today are all on the group, so thank you for joining. And Karen joined today, so well done, Karen. We've got a kind of target, and we have a laugh about it in the office. We want to get to 200 coaches. Well, today I got it up to 199. So I need one more, please. So I want one more by the end of this evening. So if you know it, you're in contact with your coaching group, Zane, put a message out.
Rachel?
Tell them to join.
Rachel?
I'm in it, but I'll go through my contacts and see.
I know you're in it, Rachel. I know Karen is. I know Zane is. I know Sam is. Yeah.
I can ask Daniel to join up.
Yeah.
I know he's in Darlington now, but
Daniel got the email as well. He got the email.
I'll WhatsApp him.
Right, I need to be 100 by the end of the evening. Thank you.
Janice, I've just done level day 1 of my level 1 course today.
You can join. Yeah. You're eligible.
There you go then.
Pass him the email.
I'll join. Right. There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You can sign up actually from our website. There's a link from our website.
Okay.
Brilliant. Thank you, Sean. Yes, so that's one plug on the Coaches Network. Also, our Kent Tennis News. Please remember to share with your members. Encourage people to sign up to our newsletter, and also to send us stories. Thanks to all of those that do send us stories. That's brilliant. And a request from Emma, who does our socials, is to make sure that you tag us in your socials and share our shares. So we can share. If you tag us, we can share, and do share our socials with your groups. That would be brilliant. So that's just a reminder of the next meeting. The next meeting is going to be a coffee morning meeting, and it's going to be at 10 a.m. on the 17th of March, Tuesday 17th, where Siobhan Butler will be joining us and be talking us through summer competitions at your club. So hopefully you will be able to join us on that one, which hopefully will be a very interesting and inspiring talk on competitions. So that's all from us for now. We have a face-to-face forum coming up in April. So do read your Tennis News and any information we send you, and we'll give you details more on that in the next couple of weeks. So all from us for now. I'm going to turn off the recording.
Brilliant. Thanks for our guest speakers today, Rachel. You're brilliant. Thanks very much, Karen and Andrea and whatever, and everybody else that contributed to tonight. It's recorded, so